and this hatred, and that's what you get when they grow older.
يعني بالنسبة للحجاب والنقاب خلص القول فيه إن إذا الإنسان يعمل بفتوى أهل البلد، فإذا كان في بلد تعمل بالنقاب فتوى النقاب فلتنتقم، لكن الذي يعتقد أو الذي يرى أن النقاب أفضل من الناحية الشرعية هو أولى من الحجاب وذهب إلى بلاد تحتاج ترى الحجاب هو أفضل، فله أن ينتقم يعني إن لم يتعرض للأذى، لا أن يعني تنتقم إن لم تتعرض للأذى.
So as we said, if a person goes to a country where the scholars of that country believes in hijab, the woman should follow hijab. If she wants to stay with niqab, as long as it's not harmful for her, there is no problem.
والإنسان المسلم لابد أن ينظر إلى الدين بهذا اليسر.
And the believer should always look on Islamic rulings with this flexibility.
ولا يعني يلومن من يأخذ بفتوى فيها أدلة أخرى غير الأدلة التي يعني أعتقد هو وجوبها أو قوتها.
And don't blame others that maybe take another advice that have as well solid proofs and accept it.
يعني بعض المتشددين يرى مثلا التي ترتدي الحجاب هذه فاسقة ويعني معاصية لله سبحانه وتعالى.
Some of the fundamentalists see a woman who wear hijab is disbeliever and she's not a good Muslim.
No, that's not fundamentalists, but extremists.
Extremists, sorry.
We're all fundamentalists, inshallah.
Yeah.
It's another word they try to.
يعني
واحنا محتاجين نترجم يعني قاعدين لك اليوم.
كفرتها محمد.
لا احنا طيب let me start.
And that's on one of the other extremes as well, because the extremists that most people know about, they force women to. I mean, the oppression on women, they associate it to being forced to be wearing hijab, niqab. So, I mean, this is the modern extremist who would say that not wearing hijab, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess extremists both sides of the fence. So again, let's start again. So, thank you, brother. So what we are saying is, extremists, you know, some extremists say that, you know, they see women wearing her hijab only. They say she is not a good Muslim.
Yeah.
أنت بتقول يعني غير مسلمة.
لا
بيقولوا إن إيش بيقولوا إيه؟ عاصية يعني she is committing a big sin.
A public sin.
وهكذا ينبغي في أمور كثيرة في الدين ينبغي إن فيها أدلة قد تكون متساوية، وينبغي على المسلم إذا أخذ بالرأي لا يعني يعادي من أخذ بالرأي الآخر ما دامت هناك أدلة هو يراها أو قال بها بعض العلماء ويرى أنها راجحة مثلا.
يعني there is many, we need to be flexible. You know, if we believe in something that have proofs and others believe in others that have different set of proofs, we should respect that and not necessarily believe in our way and then believe that they are committing a sin. Just be flexible. Have any questions?
I was gonna add. There's evidence of this. For example, I'm trying to think. Like the example where the Sahaba were ordered by the Prophet ﷺ to delay Asr. And they had two different sets of opinions. And one group followed one opinion, that they should wait till they arrived, and the other prayed when it was before the end of the time. And there was no dispute.
يعني بقول لك المثال على كلام حضرتك، الصحابة لما اختلفوا على صلاة العصر، يعني في منهم قالوا لك نصليها الحين، في منهم قال لك بعدها، وما صار خلاف.
ولم يعب يعني أحد على أحد.
And
لم يلمه.
nobody was blaming the other.
Yeah, I heard one.
هذه سعة الأفق يعني سعة التفكير.
This is the vision and broad thinking of the companions of the Prophet.
Actually, I would add to that this is actually the mercy of Allah, that there's difference in our religion.
يعني بقول لك هذه من رحمة الله. في خلافات وآراء كثيرة في ديننا.
لكنها يعني هناك الخلاف على نوعين، خلاف تناقض أبيض وأسود وخلاف تنوع
يعني our Sheikh said that the beauty of our, there are two types of differences. There is contradiction and there's varieties. And in our religion, inshallah, there are more varieties than contradiction.
أنت عندك الملح والسكر تناقض.
So you have salt and sugar. That's contradiction.
I wouldn't say contradiction. Contradiction is the wrong word. There is no contradiction in our religion. The reason why Islam is so strong is because there is no contradiction. Islam has no contradiction. The people who practice Islam create contradiction on each other.
But that's what he's just saying.
Okay.
We're talking about the differences in general.
Okay.
There is contradiction and there's variation. And in our Sheikh saying that in Islam we don't have contradiction, we have variation. That's what we just said.
Okay, fair. Sorry, misunderstood.
I misheard also.
الظل يعني ظل الشخص مثله أو مثليه مش في مذهب متفق عليه. احنا هنا بنمشي على ظل الشخص واحد. في مصر أظن اثنين صح؟ مثليه بيكون ظله مثليه. وعندنا في الأردن أظن بيمشوا على نظرية الأزهر. مش هذا متفق عليه شرعا؟
في كثير يعني في كثير في الأمور.
عندك
الفواكه مثلا.
أكبر.
British.
أكمل ولا
أكمل.
Indian British يعني؟
Pakistani British.
خلينا نشوفها.
Same.
قاعد مسوي come with us on Saturday. We said he maybe come with us on Saturday.
إن شاء الله.
يلا السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام ورحمة
I need to confirm with Jake first.
التفاح والخوخ والعنب والبرتقال مختلفات، لكن اختلاف تنوع لشيء واحد هو الفاكهة. يعني السكر والملح اختلاف تناقض. لكن التفاح
نفس الفئة يعني.
نفس اختلاف تنوع.
For example, as we said earlier, sugar and salt, they contradict each other. Whereas if you take apple, pears, bananas, they are all different varieties of fruits.
ومعظم القضايا الخلافية في الفقه هي من باب اختلاف التنوع.
And most of the dispute between scholars is really in the varieties of opinion, or not so much in contradiction.
هذا في المسائل الفقهية. أما مسألة عقيدة واضحة ما فيها خلاف. في مسألة عقيدة ما فيها خلاف، توحيد الله سبحانه وتعالى.
However, in the belief, it is straightforward.
المسلمون كلهم متفقون في هذا الشيء.
That there is no Allah but Allah. They all agree. There is no dispute.
توحيد الألوهية وتوحيد الربوبية وتوحيد
Unifying Allah and Lordness.
مسألة العقدية هذه مسألة عقيدة.
The beliefs is
التوحيد ليس فيها خلاف.
unification of Allah. There is no disputes.
أنت في آية في سورة آل عمران في آيات واضحات بينات في القرآن هم الكتاب يعني فيهمش نقاش، وفي آيات متشابهات.
نعم.
وهون بحصل الجدل.
نعم.
وحتى وصفهم في الآية ربنا إنه هذول يعني بما معناه أنا مش متذكر زي كأنهم يعني أعداء الإسلام اللي بياخذوا هاي الآيات وبصيروا بدهم يلاقوا مخارج أو مداخل الفتنة
فأما الذين في قلوبهم زيغ فيتبعون ما تشابه منه ابتغاء الفتنة وابتغاء عموما الخلاف منشأه من اختلاف الفهم. يعني عالم بيسمع بيتدبر في آية أو في حكم، والعالم الآخر بيتدبر في حكم، فهذا بيفتح الله سبحانه وتعالى عليه فتوحات، وهذا بيفتح الله سبحانه وتعالى عليه فتوحات، وبيختلف في الفهم، كل حسب ثقافته يعني وقدراته العلمية واللغوية. فهذا يفهم أحيانا اللغة تكون، لأن اللغة تحتمل أوجه، فأحيانا هذه اللغة تكون سبب الخلاف، أحيانا تكون الحديث نفسه وصل لعالم ولم يصل لعالم آخر، وهكذا يعني. فقد تكون المسائل الخلافية منشأها من أن اللغة تحتمل أوجه متعددة، وأن ورد حالات فيها متعددة للرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم، وهكذا يعني. فالخلاف وارد، شيء طبيعي، لأن تسمع أنت الكلام مني الآن تفهمه بمعنى، والآخر يفهم معنى آخر، وكل منهم يفهم معنى مختلف، وهذا وارد يعني.
I'm going to make you translate all of this word for word.
The differences, our Sheikh said that it really boils down to the perception of the scholars and the way they understand the language that they receive or the thoughts. Sometimes one scholar gets a set of hadith that the other does not.
Does that also come down to the environment that the scholar is in as well?
يعني بيقول لك ما بتجي كمان ببيئة العالم.
Especially not maybe the classical scholars, but in modern times, you see some guy, he gives a ruling, and even you know this is never going to work where you're from, for example.
يعني بقول لك بس بعض العلماء بيعطوا أحكام وبتعرف إني ما بيشتغل محل ما أنت جاي ولا محل ما ساكن، ما بزبط.
صحيح. صحيح، يعني البيئة نفسها أحيانا الفتوى تناسب البيئة.
Sometimes the ruling is convenient for the environment.
وليس يعني تغيير في حكم الله عز وجل.
It's not changing the judgment of Allah.
وإنما المعنى يحتمل ذلك.
However, the meaning could go either way.
But is it, would the Sheikh agree that, like, historically, the core of the religion, when moved from one place to another holistically, even with any schools of thought or everything moved together? So it shows that even differences, everybody lived together in those differences. Many of the mosques around the world, where Islam was the capital at the point, Egypt, we go to Busra, etc. The mosques where they used to learn, where had everybody learning in one place, even though they were learning different variations of Islam. Would you agree that?
Ask the question.
Would you agree that the core of Islam and the core of the learning and the teaching stayed the same up to a period of time until modern times, where now people in the West, for instance, are bringing out fatwas which are a bit different? I mean, well, what's his opinion on that?
Qualified.
You know? Yeah, what's his opinion on that? Like, should we stick to the core of Islam, which was for centuries represented within the capitals of Islam, of the Muslims, or more of the Western kind of scholars who are influencing religion?
Oh yeah, of influencing religion of Islam in the West.
In their own countries or in their own regions. Like, I mean, what does the Sheikh think about this?
يعني بيقول لك يعني هل يعني الإنسان بيلحق العلماء الموجودين مثلا في بصرة ومصر وسوريا وكذا والشام، ولا مثلا الحين عم بيطلع علماء في الغرب نظرات مختلفة شوي؟ فهل يعني إنسان يتبع يعني العلماء هذول الجدد الطالعين ولا شلون؟
لا، هو العالم المعروف بعلمه وورعه بإخلاصه يؤخذ برأيه.
He said a scholar that's known with his goodness and education, so forth, you take his opinion.
هناك يعني في فتاوى العلماء قدامى لا تتغير، يعني تصلح في كل مكان.
There is some rulings for all scholars. It doesn't change. It is applicable everywhere.
all the time.
لكن هناك الفتاوى المتجددة مع تجدد الزمان وتغير المكان، فهذه يعني يأخذ فيها الإنسان بفتوى العلماء الموثوق في دينهم.
However, there is some ruling that changes with the time and place. A person should at that time listen to the scholars that we believe موثوق في ايش؟
في دينه.
in their religion.
وهذا قد يوجد في السعودية وقد يوجد في
And
أمريكا
this guy
وقد
could be in
يوجد
America
في أي
or
مكان.
Saudi Arabia or anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a certain country.
العلماء الربانيين أو العلماء المعروفين بالإخلاص مشهورون بين الناس.
Scholars who are trustworthy and who are known to be sincere and loyal to Islam, they are famous between people.
علماء هيئة كبار العلماء في السعودية.
The grand muftis in Saudi Arabia.
الشيخ عبد الكريم الخضير.
عبد الكريم الخضير.
في مصر محمد إسماعيل.
محمد إسماعيل in Egypt. They're known.
يعني في كل مكان لا يخلو من.
They're يعني everywhere it has some scholars that are known to this.
أنا عندي تعليق على موضوع بس الحجاب. أنت لفت انتباهي إنه بالحج لازم المرأة تغطي وجهها. أنا بتذكر لما حجيت يمكن ما كانش في ولا واحدة مغطية وجهها. هل إذا هذا إجباري؟
أيام الرسول ولا؟
لا عن جد في 2009 يعني الحملة تاعتنا مثلا بما فيهم يعني مرتي وأمي
ايه ماشي ما هو
لا يعني بصراحة إذا هذا إجباري يعني
لا
نعيدهم الحجة.
لا هو هي ملتزمة بطبيعتها يعني، لكن احنا نقول ما دمنا في بلد ترى ان الحجاب النقاب هو الأولى والأفضل، فالمفترض أن الإنسان يلتزم بفتوى أهل البلد. لكن كونها كشفت وجهها في الحج وفي وجود الرجال وهذا ما يفسد حجها ولا شيء.
And our brother asked a question. He said, I went to Hajj with my mother and wife and family, and they didn't cover their faces. Should they repeat Hajj? So is it a sin? Is it a major sin? So our Sheikh answered, he said, whatever they have been used to before Hajj. So if a woman, for example, she uses niqab before Hajj, then she should cover up during Hajj. If she just used a regular scarf, head scarf, before Hajj, then she should use the same during Hajj.
So where does this issue come from of uncovering or removing niqab for Hajj? You didn't really answer this.
Because, I mean, for me, I've just recently, in fact, somebody was saying maybe because of Hajj is that it's women should not wear niqab at Hajj and should not, and that's where the debate starts.
And where this thing of not wearing a mask but still covering and
because that's where that's where the debate they start. Then is
they mention this hadith of Aisha that she used to not cover but pull something from above.
بقول لك هل النقاش هذا منين بدي؟ إن المرأة ما بتتنقب بالحقيقة هذا بقول لك يعني هارلم بقول لك يعني هي منا أخذوا حديث عائشة إن شيء يعني كانت تسحب شغلة كده يعني ما تحطها على وجهها.
لا متغطي الوجه ما ثبت إن في حد كان بيضع شيء بعيد عن الوجه.
No, she said she covered the face. I mean there isn't anything that comes down without touching the face.
No, but
تقول
it's
كنا
specifically, I think we're talking about, you know, the, if we define the niqab as a mask that only shows the eyes, say, that you should not wear this during Hajj. That's what the brother's saying.
Yeah.
يعني بقول لك هل
Not that you should-
المفروض
it's a
ما
sin not to
تلبس
wear it, you must
النقاب
not wear
وقت
it.
الحج؟
So where's that come from? That's what I want to kind of understand. Is that
لا تلبس النقاب في
اللي هو هذا
طبعا النقاب لا تلبسه في الحج نهائيا.
I
Yes,
actually
we said
sent this ruling to
that-
somebody recently.
We said the
النقاب
mask
المحظورات
she cannot wear.
But then, if she can't wear a mask, see, I'm just trying to like understand this now.
من محظورات
If she can't wear a
الإحرام.
mask, why is she allowed to have a veil? I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
because in niqab, if she has to cover her eyes, she has to uncover her eyes.
Her
then
face,
you know,
yeah.
and her face. I mean, no, sorry. If her eyes are the only things in a niqab, the eyes are the only things that you can see. Yeah. So, in a general ruling, if that's the niqab that people should wear, or the women should wear, during Hajj, if they're not allowed to wear niqab, then how is a veil permitted? To me, that doesn't make sense. I can't understand that because then she's covering her eyes as well.
يعني بقول لك يعني إذا نحن بنقول النقاب مو مسموح والنقاب أخف من الحجاب، الحجاب بتغطي العيون وبغطي كل حاجة، فشلون نمنع النقاب وبنسمح الحجاب؟
النقاب من محظورات الإحرام. النقاب من محظورات الإحرام.
النقاب is from the prohibition of الإحرام.
يحرم عليها.
So it's prohibited to do.
Yes.
لكن تغطي وجهها بشيء خفيف ترى بالطريق.
However, to cover your face
Yeah.
with something.
This is what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
This is the ruling of the ihram. This is it for women.
يعني تغطي وجهها بغطاء خفيف ترى بالطريق.
This collection of rulings that apply only to women.
Because there's for instance, I mean, going slightly to the side, is like there's a group of people in India. Yeah, they are very very strict that you have to cover your head with the topi. Otherwise, your prayer's not valid. That's what they say. I mean, again, it just shows you know. But
This is going to extremes.
you know, but a big community. I mean, I spent some time with them in Birmingham when I was studying. They had their local mosque, and it was very, you know, very strict. That look, you have to wear. The uncle was just like, you have to wear. Yeah, but during Hajj or Umrah, you don't.
Yeah, you're not allowed
You're
to.
not allowed to. So you may be praying that you know in that time, especially during Hajj, you are praying your salah, but you're not wearing it. So I mean that's where I think you know, it's confusing.
يعني هذا مثل ما حضرتك تفضل. That's what the Sheikh said by the way. Literally. زي ما يعني بقول لك النقاب ممنوع بس.
لكن
أو
تلبس
البرقع.
شيء. أو البرقع اسمه. لكن تلبس شيء يغطي ترى خفيف ترى بالطريق.
يعني to cover something, this is light, this is not thick, just to see the way. يعني هي أخف من النقاب يعتبر التغطية هذه.
التغطية تكون خفيفة.
It's light cover.
وبعض
It's
النساء
not
تعمل إيه؟
full mask like that thick thing. It's
بعض
light.
النساء بتغطي هذه الخروم بشاش خفيف. يستر اللون يستر الأنف يستر العينين.
يعني some women cover up with very light fabric.
تخيط الهذا.
She stitch it to close their eyes and maybe this area.
شاش خفيف كذا.
Slight cutting.
Meaning it's transparent.
It's transparent. It's light. It's not like the niqab or it's a thing.
Because it says it's haram to wear the burqa or niqab. And the burqa is like, you know,
Same mask.
but it's attached to it's like a face plate or something, isn't it?
It's the same. It's a mask.
Oh, okay.
Just shows the eyes.
Yeah.
It's the same word, niqab and burqa.
It's like what the surgeons wear. In black, essentially. Okay.
جزاكم الله خير.
Shukran, Sheikh.